What is going on, everyone? Tyboy here, along with Rectify's very own Aztec, who is a competitor for us and a content creator. Aztec, how are you doing, man? What's
Doing well.
going
How are
on?
you? Doing
I'm
good.
yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I know you're doing really good because you just won a LAN event, a tournament event known as Frosty Faustings. How's that?
It was fun.
How's that?
It's my first time going. I loved it. It was hot as hell inside the venue, so I thought it
Yeah.
was fun. It's frosty, but I'm like sweating,
So
like playing.
So, in case many people might not know, Frosty Faustings more of a fighting game event where it features multiple fighting games, not just Mortal Kombat, which you entered. It features Super Smash Brothers, like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and all that stuff, Tekken,
Yep.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter. Of course, it may not be the biggest event, but still, it was an event in the LAN, which obviously you won. So like, you know what was it like fighting through the event? Because I know the the competition may not have been strong like it was in the past, like in 2019 with the Mortal Kombat circuit, but still, once you get to top 8 in any event, it can be very tough because you get passionate people who is going to be there to compete.
Yeah.
So
Like obviously, like I knew most of the competitions except for the Greek brothers, K-Top and H-Dope, I think. So
yeah.
and funny thing enough was I was trying to look up like videos of like who they play and stuff. I didn't know who they played till the day of, like actually when people were just playing casuals, and I was casually watching them play like in actual tournament matches. So I get a scope for how they played. But yeah, like you said, like obviously it's not as top heavy as like past Frosty events were,
Yeah.
but still a top 8 is a top 8. And as like I don't know if people saw, but like K-Top smoked me in winners final, so I had to get like a download because I'd never played him before. So it's like, oh god, it's another Jackie Breaks player. I'm tired of this matchup. Please, God, stop it. Stop torturing me with this matchup. So it was a little bit of an adaptation to his play style. We just did the whole download thing and we just won.
Yeah, there you go. Obviously, you've lost some games on your way to go, to win this event. But you stayed on the winner side the entire time, which is a tough thing to do in any situation, any sport, no matter what you talk about. But who you went through was one of Rectify's very own too, and that was Dylan Lloyd. What was that match like?
Funny
If
thing
you
is,
remember.
he didn't use his main character Rambo, which is
Really?
actually I'm gonna give people a little Mortal Kombat matchup
Yeah.
knowledge. A little quick little side note. Rambo kind of like is freaking annoying for Kodo because like he has like claymore traps and I literally can't go through without like jumping on it or something stupid like that. So he didn't use that. He used I think Rain at first, Jade second, then he went Rambo, which proved to be slightly more tasking at hand, but it was really great playing. Dylan Lloyd's a good player, one of the best Rambo players in the world. And yeah, it was a fun time. So it was nice to play the homie. Hate to see a team kill in that
Yeah, that's
sort of
all right.
situation.
It happens.
Yeah, but yeah, it happened. Somebody's going top 8, so just had to be me that time.
Well, yeah, listen, ninth place is still not a bad place. Dylan's going up there, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
One of the more interesting people in Mortal Kombat because he is a musician on top of being an esports competitor, which is definitely an interesting scenario for sure. But something I wanted to bring up at Frosty Fausting, something that I guess you could say is iconic to you, Aztec, is that your celebrations. I've noticed when you go to LANs. I believe at Eva one time you had a pop off.
Yeah.
And Frosty, you had a pop off. So when I look at people popping off in esports, some people put on an act because they're on camera, they do it in front of the crowd. When I see Aztec do it, what I see is someone who's who's like into the game, who like, I don't know, you just feel the win, right? I don't know how to explain it. Like that's real when I see Aztec celebrate off a win. What is that like? I'm assuming people were watching you in that room you were playing in, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what goes through your mind when you're about to win an entire tournament, like in that set, like game 3, you could sweep it. What is?
So it's always like a fever dream after everything happens because like I can't replicate that moment, obviously, and like people think it's quote unquote cringe or I'm doing it just because like this cares. No, I just like that's legit how I am. I'm a competitor. I love competing, and when I win, I show emotion. You know what I mean? So it's all a part of that whole like shtick of mine, I guess. Because
Yeah.
like I think it was that combo breaker. Like I played against one of my friends. And I won, and like I popped up so hard the chair fell off the stage and stuff like that. So and people think like oh, this guy's crazy. Like no, I'm just happy I won. And like I'm
Yeah.
just a very cheerful guy. And during the whole set when I was in on the loser side of the grand finals, like I had the whole crowd like hyping me up, and people were saying like, yeah, you got this, Aztec. And then I started like feeling the momentum. I'm like, okay, I'm almost there. And then when I wanted, just like I just got excited and just like popped off. So
Yeah, no, I've always found that one thing about esports interesting. You see teams pop off when it comes to Call of Duty, Halo, Overwatch, Valorant. Fighting game players, I feel like always have that like something known about them that they like pop off. Because I don't know if you remember Big D at Combo Breaker one year, he threw a chair, and that was a little crazy, but it's
yeah,
all
people
about the emotion.
reference that moment to me. It's like he had a big D moment, or even way back a Modsden moment, like he threw the
Yeah.
chair when he won. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, make sure to celebrate your wins, everyone that's watching when you compete in events. You never know if you'll win again. But so obviously, Frosting's over. You've been competing in a lot of different events recently in Mortal Kombat, placing top 8 frequently. Now, there isn't an official Mortal Kombat circuit right now for esports because NetherRealm's working on a new game. You know, um, First, I wanted to ask, back in 2019 when there was a circuit, were you competing in that?
No, like, and this is like before like during this pre-COVID. So I was
Yeah.
working like full time. Like I
Mhm.
legit just didn't have time to compete. Like I literally
Yeah.
was like working, taking the train to work, and coming home at like 10 o'clock at night to play one ranked match a day and call it a day.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the chance to do that. Obviously, I think when the pandemic started to take full swing is when I got more involved in playing the game. But yeah, I think obviously now that I know how good I am, I guess at this game, I'm gonna have a more concerted effort to try to
Hmm.
play early in the game's life cycle, so that way I can like play in like the big circuits and stuff like that. So
Yeah. And also Aztec, for those that are watching that they might know or probably don't know, is that I remember you competing in a Rectify Mortal Kombat event and you won that event. And that's how I remembered your name. I remember, when you first, reach out, when
yeah,
joining Rectify, I'm like, oh, that guy's so familiar. And that's why, he won an
yeah,
event. So that was
yeah.
cool. Looking forward, when it comes to NetherRealm Studios, like we don't think a Mortal Kombat could happen, a new one. Some people think it's a new Injustice. Look at Marvel vs. Capcom. What do you think there will be, and when do you think? Like, what's your prediction?
Um, I'm going to assume it's gonna be a new Mortal Kombat game this year.
Hmm.
It's probably somewhere in the fall or something like that. I just think NRS is looking at companies like Capcom and
Hmm.
Bandai and saying like, okay, there's 2 other fighting games. We're gonna lose like our audience if we don't like push something out. And it's been like a hot minute since they like
Yeah.
stopped supporting MK11. But I assume the next one has to be MK12. I could be wrong, could be Injustice. Like I'll play whatever, but I prefer
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, obviously. But I'm assuming something has to happen like within the next couple of like months, as far as at least an announcement wise, because like you're gonna lose all your casual fan bases to like Street Fighter and Tekken because they love fighting games but don't have nothing else to play. And like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Strive doesn't like scratch that itch for them or whatever. So
And and if it's Injustice and not new Mortal Kombat, do you think the transition's tougher, or there's no learning curve basically when you go from MK to Injustice?
I don't think it's more of a learning. I think the meta will shift. I've noticed in Injustice too. It
Hmm.
was a heavy zone type of like real slow like type of play style. And
Yeah.
I have a RoboCop, so I can zone people and piss people off all day if I have to do that to win. I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that. So
Hmm.
I don't think the learning curve will be that much to adjust. But I feel like the next MK game, if it isn't MK, I think you're gonna take a little bit from MKX because people like a sort of rush down, but also keep some
Hmm.
elements of MK11 because I prefer like MK11's like play style. I like the whole like sort of like slow down offense, but not
Hmm.
like too slow like Injustice. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, we'll see. And we're in February of 2023. What's on your schedule for the next few months? What's on Aztec's competing schedule for MK right
Uh,
now?
for some reason everyone wants me to go Combo Breaker again.
Yo, everyone's got to go to Combo Breaker.
Everyone wants me to go to Combo Breaker, but I don't think I actually have the schedule to do so. It's funny enough, I'm taking my mother to Chicago for her birthday the week before Combo Breaker, so it's like bad timing. But I will be going to CEO. That's my next big thing, honestly, and we'll see what happens from there. Because I really want the belt that they have, like the WWE belt. Granted, I never watched it, but I totally want the belt.
Yeah, we'll Rectify is totally going to take over as CEO this year. That's going to be a fun event for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll take over that belt, and more pop-offs will happen, man.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
Well, best of luck moving forward, and we're happy to have you here at Rectify. And for those
watching, be here.
Yep. And for those watching, make sure to follow Aztec on Twitter at AztecJD_, right?
Yep, got it.
Yep, the links will be in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.